How would you describe your coaching style and the style of play you want to play there?
Yeah, style play, I always use the answer, we're fearless, for better or for worse. So we're going to try to press, we're going to try to build out of the back, but you're not going to see us try to sit in and hope not to lose. So you're not going to get a long-winded, super tactical answer here and try to be the next Pep Guardiola. That's not. We're just fearless. We want to have players that are comfortable on the ball, that enjoy playing the game. Look, soccer is a game that's a player sport. Coaches prepare them during the week, but game day, you got to make decisions. So not joystick coaches that try to handcuff players by constant, you got to be there, got to do that. It's like the game is so quick and so instant. You have to be able to make decisions quickly. We trust our players. So from personality type, we want our players to know that we believe in them, that we trust them, give them a little confidence. They don't have to look over their shoulder after a mistake to say, like, am I going to get yanked off the field? It's more like, how do you respond? So the style of play, again, we want players that are comfortable on the ball. If we can and need to possess it because the team is sitting back, then we want players that are able to do that. If a team presses us and we need to be a little bit more direct to find the space in behind, can you recognize that and have that opportunity? But we want technical players that seek the ball. The one thing that really frustrates us is players that kind of don't want the ball. We want you to be able to find avenues to receive the ball and help us progress the ball forward as quickly as possible. Once we have it there, then if we turn it over, we want to be able to press and counter press quickly, respond to that. And then personality type. It's always hard to describe yourself, right? Isn't that other people's job to
Yeah.
describe? Um, no, I'm not a yeller and a screamer. Don't believe in that at all. We're teachers, and I'm yet to find a teacher that yells and screams like, "Hey, 2 + 2 is 4." No, like, hey, it's you educate, you hold accountable, but you show a lot of love to your staff and to your athletes. And I think we try to create an environment where players know that they're respected, cared for, held accountable, and challenged at the same time. Love is always, accountability too. Love is not just letting players get away with it. That's actually the opposite. Letting them know where the boundaries are, letting know what the expectations are, how they're being held accountable for even little things, what not just the classroom conduct. We're fortunate enough to have just an incredible group of young women that believe in each other. And even last year, when we had a very, very, very tough year, the one thing that everybody said, and even our fans and admin, that was that you guys never quit. You just found a way to keep competing. And sometimes soccer can be a cruel sport. And so from that standpoint, we have a group that believes in each other. And we are, a staff that wants to make players feel like that they're in an environment where they're challenged, but also safe and respected and not just a number. And I think that's something that we want to continue to preach to our recruits and visitors, as well as like, hey, you're coming in here somewhere where it's not going to be easy. We're going to continue to challenge you, but you're also not just going to be discarded after your first mistake, because we're in a university, we're in an educational setting. So, the education part sometimes gets forgotten, where I think we're responsible to prepare players not just for a win that's Thursday night or Sunday afternoon, but also for what are you going to do when you face that problem, like 3 years down the line in the real world, and have we done our job to prepare you? And I think that's gets overlooked at times, and that's something that I take personally very seriously, and our staff does. So, we have an open door policy for our players too. They can come in anytime. We have 3 required individual meetings with that. I do a frequently infrequent call it just coffee chat, where I just come out and said, hey, I'm going to sit here for an hour. Come and join me. And I've had 8, 10 players come out. I have nobody come out, 1 or 2, but we talk about everything else but soccer. I want to know, how's the family? How's what's going on? How's the dog? Whatever you have going on in your life. How are your other hobbies, other interests? And we just chat. And so that the mantra that we use is, connect, communicate, trust, sacrifice. So if you're willing to connect and then communicate, you build trust. And when you build that trust, then you're willing to sacrifice. And once you're willing to sacrifice, everything else becomes a lot easier for you.